Welcome doctors again to my YouTube channel, Dr. Bagal Homeopathy Clinic. Today I am going to review a book which was gifted to me by the author himself, Dr. SATYAJIT KUCHAR, who is practicing in Akola district of Maharashtra. So this is the cover of the book, front cover, and this is the back cover of the book. This is just a book of 312 pages, but I will tell you what is the content of this book. So the title of the book goes with Widening Horizons in Study of Homeopathy. Then author writes below that eye-opening and thought-provoking insights. This book has 5 main sections which are Materia, Organon of Philosophy, Repertory and Rubrics, Clinical Tips, and then tribute to Dr. Master Hahnemann. So when we open the first page of the book, you will get the title of the book on page 1, then second and third about the publication. Then on page 5, since page 5, he has written a preface, the author has written a preface, and that ends on page number 9 with his address, mobile number, mail ID, YouTube and other social media accounts details. So I want to know you about the author, that he is MD homeopath and he is third generation homeopath from his family. He is associate of Radar Opus software for Akola district. Then he has written many articles and he has been interviewed by the local channels during COVID pandemic and other time also about homeopathy. He has his papers were published in NJH journals like NJH and the Homeopathic Heritage. He has many followers and study circle across the globe, and I am very happy that he has gifted me this gem book. I will request everyone to go through this book. In preface, the preface starts with the quote, read more, learn more, laugh more and love more. So we already talked about 5 sections. Then he had given in preface, he has detailed short notes about each sections, what he has written in each and every section. So in section 1, chapter 1 starts from study of homeopathy. Here you will get to know the idea about how to study the Materia Medica and course of stalwarts, how they studied their Materia Medica. Then in chapter 2 of first section, the remedy Badiaga is there. You may be surprised to know that when Rustox arnica fails in trauma and injuries with blueness of skin, then Badiaga is indicated. Then the second remedy he covers on chapter 3, that is bryonia. When you read bryonia, among many things, the most important thing I like about this is when bryonia fails in rheumatic cases, then stellaria medica is indicated. Then he has mentioned one case over there where action of veratrum virid on splenius muscle, and that is experience of author himself. Then relationship of bryonia with other remedies is also mentioned in details. Then in chapter 4, the remedy China is there. We know the physical picture of China and little about mental, but he has mentioned the detailed mental picture about China. Then in liver trouble, he mentions that when we have to choose between Lyco and China, then Lyco should be given in cases where there is atrophic of kidney, and if there is hypertrophy, then China is indicated. So he has differentiated very well Lyco and China in liver troubles. Then the remedy comes next is gratiola. So we know that in nymphomania or female masturbation, platina is the leading remedy, we know all. But the author Dr. SATYAJIT KUCHAR mentions here about the thing that Burnett considered it specific in female masturbation and nymphomania, which is really a thought-provoking insight that many of us may not know about this thing about gratiola. Then the 6th remedy is there is lactic acid. We use lactic acid in many diabetes mellitus cases, but the drug picture is missing. We may see something written in boric, something in other Materia Medica, but he has tried to have a good picture of lactic acid in cases of diabetes mellitus. Then also he has mentioned many remedies and many new remedies of nausea vomiting of pregnancy. Like new remedies he has mentioned, which was also new to me: Amygdalus persea, Jacaranda caroba, and Gossypium herbaceum. Apart from this, he has also mentioned many remedies. Then comes in his Materia medical list is Lapis alba. So in Lapis alba he has mentioned indications in cancer, fibroids, and also write down his experience in a case of heart tumor, where he has first given calcarea fluor. Then when the tumorosis becomes soft, then he has introduced Lapis alba and the patient was cured. Then the comes in the list of Materia medica is lecithin, where indications of anemia and brain fag of students are given very nicely. Then he has written many pages on lyco, but the thing which struck my mind was night blindness plus tunnel vision. Then he has compared lycopodium with nux vomica in similarities with chelidonium. When to most important thing, he has mentioned some lines when to avoid giving lycopodium in which cases. Then comes sanicula. He has very good compare. He has compared chamomilla and silica child, then adult picture of sanicula. Then the important thing I learned from this, that whenever we are thinking about silica child, then we must always remember to have sanicula child in our mind to compare with. Or if silica fails in our cases, then we must go to Materia medica of sanicula. He has written around 4 or 5 pages about sanicula and other related remedies. Then most of the pages in Materia medica sections were given to the greatest polychrist of homeopathy, that is sulfur. So when I was reading the books, this book on page number 60, author actually justifies the title of this book, which is Widening Horizons in Study of Homeopathy. So what happens in today's era, we get many skin cases which are previously treated by local steroids or something internal maladies. So it is obvious that the cases which we think of sulfur in our old literatures and in drug picture in old books, so we may not get that type of clear picture nowadays. So that is really a thought-provoking insight, because these corticosteroids wipe out the classical and typical eruptions of sulfur. So we are getting the altered picture of sulfur in today's practice. Then tidy and fastidious sulfur, gifted with mental abilities since birth. This is also very new to me. Then he has mentioned the bigger names which can be the personality of sulfur, like Albert Einstein, then Socrates, then Dr. Hahnemann himself. And he has written a beautiful vast drug picture of sulfur over there. Then the remedy comes Taraxacum, then Veratrum album. In Veratrum album, he has differentiated child of Veratrum with Stramonium, and then comparison of Stramonium, Hyoscyamus, Tarantula, Veraton, mental level also. Description about how Veratrum person we can recognize in our society and or in our around us. Then the remedy he has mentioned is Viola tricolor. So we know this remedy, very good remedy for eczema and impetigo, but he has given a full drug picture of Viola tricolor, especially in children. This is end of part first over here. Then part 2 is dedicated to Organon and related. Then in chapter 1 he describes our significance and relevance of study of Organon, why we should study the Organon. Then in chapter 2 it is on posology. He provided tips to avoid or give certain remedies to avoid aggravation or to get good results. There are some examples he has given on which time sulfur will get aggravated if we give the remedy at wrong time, or lyco will work wonderfully when at what time we give to the patient. Then sometimes it happens that we may get aggravations. So how to counter those aggravation? If it is it happens with higher potencies, then lower potencies may work to antidote that aggravation of the same remedy with the same remedy. And he has mentioned the what we say authentic sources from where he has extracted all this in all chapters and all everywhere. Then the third chapter is about reflection and insights by stalwarts on case management. Here you will surely learn about a good case taking and follow up, and how to titrate the doses or decide doses in follow-ups. Then the chapter 4th of part 2 is summary of Organon. Here he has mentioned whole of the Organon in summarized form, but that in simple language which we can understand and replicate in our clinic setup. He has given the list of reference work for this section of Organon, which he has dedicated pen down only 42 he has penned down 80 pages, and to pen down those 80 pages he has almost mentioned about around 42 books. So hats off to you, sir. This is really a good work because it's not an easy thing to write a book on such a topic. Then it comes then the section 3rd starts. It is in it chapter 1 we can say repertory versus Materia medica. So what is the utility, scopes and limitation of both, and in this chapter comment by stalwarts and by author are also mentioned. Then in second chapter he described about BTBP, that is Bagal's therapeutic pocket book, and its comparison with Kent's repertory. In third chapter he has mentioned BBCR, construction of BBCR, philosophy and utility of BBCR. Then in fourth chapter he has mentioned about cross repertorization. This actually you really need to know what is cross repertorization, how it is done, and pros and cons of cross repertorization he has also mentioned in this chapter. Then the chapter comes is of fifth chapter of study of rubrics. He has explained meaning in detail with patient version or example from known movies, the characters regarding to that rubric. Then comparison of closely similar rubrics where we may go wrong at some time or many times. Like he has compared between jealousy and envy, then duty versus responsibility, then foppish versus vanity, then veneration versus reverence. When he finishes this chapter 5, he has also mentioned his closing comments. So for this 16 pages on this section of rubrics, he has for 22 pages to pen down on this rubric section. He has referred 16 books. This is really a good effort by you, sir. Then on page number 239, the special section is there, and this is really I say that this is the most important section of this book. Then in section 4, some eye-opening and thought-provoking insight. This is the most important chapter in this book, which justifies the title of book. If you read this book from page 1 to page 3110, then again you go to this chapter and read this chapter again, then you will come to know what mistakes we are doing, or what should we do actually in our practice. Then in this chapter he has mentioned about polycrest and rare remedies. What are they? How should we be as a homeopath? We should think the truth about one remedy to a person in acutes and chronics, which is a myth in homeopathy, that the person has only one constitution throughout the life, and it is he has quoted the comment by Dr. Kent himself about this. So you may read that thing over there. Then he has talked about constitutional remedy. What does mean constitution? Then he talks about Hahnemann's totality with miasmatic background, then doctrine of signature, and what makes a remedy truly homeopathic. I think this is the gist of this book, where you can learn many things. Then the fourth section is about clinical tips, which many of the new homeopaths or beginners will like. Here clinical tips and therapeutics, which are like the most He has covered remedies like Abiscan, acetic acid in cancer, Abiscan in cancer, adrenaline in accelerated hypertension and acute asthmatic attack. Along with posology, he has mentioned over there. Then Asclepius tuberosa in tennis elbow. We see many cases of tennis elbow, but we don't know any specific therapeutic remedies. If your patient is coming with very less symptoms, or there is nothing in the case other than diagnosis or just a pain, then you can rely on such a tips. Then Baratamur in isolated systolic hypertension. I will like if some of the viewer of my channel will write here that what is isolated systolic hypertension. Then Cassius opera in tropical eosinophilia. Many patients will come with reports of tropical eosinophilia, raised absolute eosinophil count, and we don't have any remedy or any specific over here. Then you can rely on such a remedy. Then he has written many more remedies and tips in this section. He also mentioned the potency dosage wherever required. Therapeutic of cons is also there, which is the bread and butter of homeopath. Then a special section on never well sins. Then therapeutics on rheumatism, burns, acne, fatty liver and molluscum contagium he has mentioned over there. He has compared some of the leading remedies in this section. Then the last section comes, without which a book cannot be completed, that is about our master Dr. Hahnemann, and the section 5 is a tribute to Dr. Hahnemann. You will reveal many unknown facts which we usually don't know about Dr. Hahnemann, and it is finished by the comment by the author himself. So this is the overall review, and on the last 3 pages he has mentioned how many books he actually referred to pen down this 300 books page. So I will talk about some cons of the book first, then the pros. The binding is like that now. If you are reading this book like this now, so it is very difficult that you may hold it open like this. So so binding should be improved. Then in chapter 2 he has not commented about the posology of nosodes. I was expecting actually that thing. Now the good things about the book, he has referred more than 350 books to pen down 312 pages of book. Really hats off effort, sir. Then what I would like from the author in future, I would like him to write a book on the chronic diseases, theory of chronic diseases by Hahnemann in simple language. Then he may mention in TCD about the cases what he is seeing in his OPD to connect the theory written in TCD and application of that theory in his clinic. So I will really expect and like to read further books of the author. Then the most important thing that I want to mention, I want to thank you Dr. Satyajit KUCHAR sir for such a wonderful book. It is really inspiring to many of homeopaths. I will request my audience to get this book, and if you are watching this video before 30th of July 2024, then you will get the discount of 300 rupees on this book. The MRP of book is 649. You have to use the code WHH300. You can mail him or you can contact him on his mobile number. If he is busy, then he just drop him a message that you need a book or you want to book the book. Use this code WHH300 to get the discount of 300 rupees. So you will get the book of 649 at rupees 300 plus postage charges. Once again, I thank you to Dr. KUCHAR sir. I will share his number 91569 request all to buy the book and go through the book, read the book, and let me know in comment section how which section you like most, or which are flaws there which the author needs to improve, or the topics which you really need in future, where he has to pen down about that. uh, I have read many of the books, but very few authors will take such a pains to pen down a book of mere 300 pages, and they are referring more than 350 books. Again, thank you, sir. Keep learning, keep sharing, keep inspiring. Thank you all.